at her. And that can be more difficult for a woman, because who are your role models? If you want to run for the Senate or run for the presidency, most of your role models are going to be men. And what works for them won't work for you. Women are seen through a different lens. It's not bad, it's just a fact. It's really quite funny. I'll go to these events and there will be men speaking before me and they'll be pounding the message and screaming about how we need to win the election, and people will love it. And I want to do the same thing because I care about this stuff. But I've learned that I can't be quite so passionate in my presentation. I love to wave my arms, but apparently that's a little bit scary to people. And I can't yell too much. It comes across as too loud or too shrill or too this or too that. Which is funny because I'm always convinced that the people in the front row are loving it. I know I can be perceived as aloof or cold or unemotional, but I had to learn as a young woman to control my emotions, and that's a hard path to walk because you need to protect yourself. You need to keep steady, and at the same time, you don't want to seem walled off. And sometimes I think I come across more in the walled off arena. And if I create that perception, then I take responsibility. I don't view myself as cold or unemotional. Neither do my friends. Neither does my family. But if that sometimes is the perception I create, then I can't blame people for thinking that.
I think most of you know that I grew up in New York City. And I remember being pretty young and seeing like wanted posters up around the neighborhood for a rapist that was sort of going around the east side. And old enough to read, but not old enough to yet know what rape was. And it may well have been, I honestly can't tell you, but it may well have been the first time sex was explained to me, and it was in the context of violence, right? And I remember a time when I was under 7 and someone in our building was killed by her boyfriend's domestic thing. Or that time that a couple of friends and I were walking to chorus. We were in 6th grade and we had on our black skirts and our white shirts for chorus practice, and grown men on the street were calling out at us. Or when I was about 12 or 13 and I went to meet my cousin after his tennis lesson, my cousin who's only 3 months younger than me, and I sat on the bench waiting. And his instructor walked him over after his lesson and asked if I was there to pick up my cousin. And I said, no, I'm just here to meet him. And whatever he said next prompted me to say, I'm only 12. And he was shocked and expressed that he thought I was at least 18. Or when I was older, maybe 14, and after apologizing for holding up an elevator in our building, I was asked by a man well over 50 what I was going to do to make it right, and informed that he had whips upstairs. I know. Or that time in college when a drunk kid tried to get into my dorm room thinking it was somebody else's dorm room but would not leave. And public safety came and said, boys will be boys. Or the thousands of times that a man has told me how I should be doing this or that. The time when in training for ministry, an older mentor, male, felt the need to talk about my voice and whether it was going up or down or when. Or that other time, or that other time, or that other time. And I'm lucky because all of my times have ended only in discomfort and awkwardness and processing with a friend. My times didn't end in violence. Many women are not so lucky. And essentially every woman I know has a story, at least one, if not many more than one, like my own. And essentially every woman I know has learned over the course of her childhood and young adulthood and adulthood tricks designed to help her, right? Don't make eye contact lest it be perceived as an invitation. Definitely don't smile unless they call you out on not smiling, and then probably just give a little smile but then hurry away. Right? Don't look too mean also. Like if you're not smiling, don't look mean, no. Right? Don't leave a drink unattended anywhere at any time lest it get drugged. Don't go anywhere alone after dark, and if you have to, have your phone at the ready and your keys poking through your knuckles so you've got extra defense. Make sure you're always aware of your surroundings. Essentially, don't relax, ever. But always stay warm and inviting. Because there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than a cold woman. Don't raise your voice. Don't be too angry. Don't blame anyone else for what happens to you. And don't ever be too loud. Keep quiet, right? Don't take up too much space. There's so many rules, right? There are many more than those. I am sure we could stand and list them for days. There are so many rules. Oh, and for sure, don't complain about making less than a man or having to still do most of the work around the house, even if you are also working outside of the house. And don't suggest that the rates of sexual and physical abuse and the rates of pay and the lack of women in positions of power in politics and business are clear indicators of entrenched misogyny. Don't suggest that. Look, I realize that most of you understand that there is a deeply entrenched misogyny in this country. But we can forget sometimes, right? We can forget sometimes because we go about our day and many of us have learned to let things roll off our back and to not bother to interpret it as part of a larger systemic problem. But it's there, and we can't forget that it's there. Even for those of us who've experienced pretty limited oppression or prejudice or violence, we live each day with the objectification that we experience as children, right? We live every day with an awareness that women are hurt at different rates that will break your heart. That Humans of New York piece was actually Hillary Clinton, which some of you may have realized. If a woman of her privilege and wealth and power can't escape the impossible demands placed on a woman by our society, how can any of us escape it, right? It often feels as a woman that you cannot win, right? No matter what you do. We're told to keep quiet and tend to everyone else's needs and to not complain. And I will say this, I sincerely hope that the women's marches mark a sea change in many American women's lives. That we stop being quiet, right? That those stories, which are not so easy to tell, right? We start telling to each other and to everyone else. That we speak out and speak up about the violations, physical, emotional, spiritual. That we speak out and speak up about our visions for what is possible. That we put aside the need and the training to be meek and mild, and instead we wave our arms around and shout and get mad and don't stop until something changes. That we do not keep quiet anymore.
Reverend Sarah,
Yes.
I'm along those lines. Jeanette cannot hear, and I'm trying to find the things that enhance the hearing, and no one seems to know
Take
where
care of
they
that.
are.
Someone is on it, and then Tina, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.